take a deep breath. Do you think it was just a coincidence that you arrived here? But I affirm that it was not your decision. It was I who moved the heavens in time for this encounter to happen right now. I saw you scrolling without thinking. I saw you almost ignoring the notification, almost closing the window. But my hand held you back. My silent voice whispered within you and brought your spirit to this altar. It is not a video. It is a call. It is not a coincidence. It is an encounter that was scheduled before you were born. I am the reason you are still standing. I am the one who sustained your life when you thought of giving up. I am the one who held your heart when it seemed to shatter. Do not underestimate what is happening now. The place where you are sitting, your bedroom, your living room, your quiet workspace, or even the busy street, it has all become an altar. Every space has become a sanctuary because my presence reaches wherever you open your heart. You were silently asking for signs. You were asking for answers. Staring at the dark ceiling at dawn. No one heard, but I heard. No one noticed, but I was there. As tears flowed without you being able to explain it, I was already recording each one as seeds of honor. Every deep sigh that escaped your chest was heard in heaven as a prayer. Even when you thought you weren't praying, you thought no one noticed the hidden pain, but I always did. Now understand. It is not a coincidence that you are here. It is your direction. It is your purpose. It is a fulfilled promise. What happens now does not depend on your strength or your understanding. It depends on my will. I chose this moment because I knew you could no longer tolerate empty answers. You could no longer pretend strength. You could no longer hide your exhaustion. Listen, what you are feeling is not psychological. It is spiritual. This pressure in your chest that is beginning to subside. This strange feeling of warmth. This sudden calm are not common emotions. They are the touch of my presence. I recall this moment so that you know that nothing was in vain. That nothing was forgotten. Neither the pain you hid, nor the silence you endured, nor the times you smiled so as not to worry anyone. This encounter is not fleeting. What begins now will continue in your life as a chain of transformation. You will not leave the same way you came in. It is not about observing. It is about staying. Every word that comes out of my mouth is a spiritual key that unlocks invisible chains. Every second you decide to stay is like a seal that confirms the work I have already begun in you. Do not doubt it. I chose this precise moment. I chose you among thousands. I brought you to this altar because I knew your heart was ready to be touched like never before. I do not miss appointments. I do not break promises. When I decide to act, nothing can stop what I have in mind. Now I tell you, as a prophetic act, as an answer to what your spirit was asking for. Comment now with faith. Declare your permanence with words. Write as one who activates in the spirit what heaven is releasing at this moment. It is not a simple comment. It is a seed. He who writes with faith opens invisible portals. Because the act of declaring has power before my throne. I know your thoughts might tell you it's just one more click, one more phrase. But I affirm. Every word written with faith is recorded as a memorial. Every act of trust is a brick laid in the building of your victory. Just as a drop of water creates expanding circles, your declaration generates waves in the spirit that reach areas you never imagined. You feel the struggle now. You feel your mind telling you to ignore it. You feel your body tired. You feel the urgency to leave. This resistance does not come from you. It comes from the enemy, who knows what will happen if you stay. But I tell you, stay. Choose to stay. Choose to declare. Choose to trust. Because what I started will not end empty. Take a deep breath again. This is not the end. It is the beginning. This is the milestone of a new cycle. Every tear has been collected, every pain recorded, every prayer heard. And now before me, everything becomes a living promise. You think you have entered a normal video, but I tell you, you are not in front of a screen. You are in front of me. This is not random content. It is a call. The space where you are now, whether it is a quiet room, a bright living room, your workplace, or even a thoroughfare, has become an altar. This is where heaven touches earth. This is where I draw near and touch areas of your life that no one else has been able to touch. Every second you remain here is a spiritual key. Every word you hear is a seed planted in fertile ground. Nothing is in vain. I speak to you, and at the same time, I align things that seemed impossible to change. Doors open as you listen. Burdens are eased. Chains are broken now, because my presence does not arrive silently. It arrives with power. You think you are only observing, but you are actually participating in a divine movement. Your body may be motionless, but your spirit is at war. And I tell you, this war is already won. The enemy has been trying to steal your attention because he knows that if you stay until the end, there will be an irreversible activation within you. The distractions that arise are not mere coincidences. The ringing of your cell phone, the unexpected notification, the mind wandering, the sudden heaviness in your eyes, all of these are attempts to distance you from what is being released now. But I affirm to you, your persistence is the most powerful weapon. Every time you choose to stay, you choose victory. Every second of resistance is a declaration to heaven that you trust me more than external pressures. What has begun cannot be interrupted halfway. What I have begun in you must be completed. There are promises that are only revealed to those who remain until the end. There are anointings that only descend upon those who do not give up halfway. Therefore, I insist, stay here. Do not be distracted. The environment has already changed. And the longer you remain, the more my presence will intensify in you. While you are here, the heavens are moving. Angels are taking position. Chains are being broken in places you cannot even imagine. Things that have resisted for years are beginning to yield to the authority of my voice. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit already perceives the difference. A new atmosphere envelops you. The peace that eluded you begins to emerge. The hope that seemed lost begins to be rekindled. You are part of something greater. You are not just a recipient. You are a channel. I called you not only to listen, but to multiply. Because there are people on the verge of collapse waiting for a word that you are already receiving. They do not know it. But you have been chosen as an instrument to bring light where there is darkness. That is why I tell you, share this message now, not as routine, but as a living testimony. Do it as a prophetic act, as a mission. By sharing, you do not just send a link. You release the same anointing that is being poured out on you. You extend this altar to others who also need to be touched at this precise moment. By sharing, you become a bridge. The same river that reaches you now will flow to homes, hearts, and lives in need. Just as someone was a channel for this word to reach you, I set you as a channel for it to reach others. Do not underestimate the power of this act. Sharing is proclaiming, what God is doing with me will not stop with me. It will multiply. And by obeying, I also release upon you. He who shares receives double. He who opens doors for others sees bigger doors open in his own life. This altar is not private. It is expansive. What is generated within you needs to be spread because the transformation is not only personal, it is collective. I know the enemy will try to convince you that it is just a detail, that it will not change anything. But remember, everything small in the natural world is grand in the spiritual world. A simple click can forge destinies. A simple decision can redeem hearts that had lost hope. As you remain here, heaven continues to release itself. Do not interrupt what I have begun. Do not underestimate the environment you are in, for it has already been consecrated as an altar. Remain and allow this presence to mold you. Stay and watch as everything around you begins to align. Because the altar that has been raised is not limited to the video. It is raised within you. And when you leave this place, you will carry with you the mark of one who has stood before the eternal. I tell you, every act of faith, even the simplest in your eyes, holds eternal weight before me. Nothing you do with confidence goes unnoticed. When you remain, when you choose to stay until the end, when you choose to listen to my voice despite tiredness and distractions, this becomes a spiritual seal. A mark that opens paths and activates miracles that no one can erase. Do not despise small gestures, for in my kingdom nothing is small. A word spoken with faith moves armies. A sigh expressed with trust breaks chains. A gesture of surrender can become a memorial before my throne. That is why I tell you, even what seems like a detail, even what seems trivial, carries a power that transforms destinies. Look inside you. You feel that something has already begun. Your heart beats differently. Your mind feels lighter. A flame that seemed extinguished begins to rekindle. It is not a fleeting emotion. It is an enduring work. It is the sign that my presence surrounds you and will not let you leave the same way you came in. Because he who touches my presence never remains the same. Now, listen. You can seal this moment. You can transform it into a prophetic declaration. A public act of faith. Like it now. Not as if you were merely approving a video, but as if you were saying before heaven and earth, I receive what the Lord is doing in me. And subscribe to this channel as if you were declaring Menjur. I choose to continue listening to your voice. I want to continue being marked by your presence. When you like with faith, it is like raising your hand in a service before the altar and saying, this word is for me. When you subscribe with faith, it is like crossing a spiritual door and declaring, I don't just want to visit. I want to remain in your presence. I want to live constantly under your voice. Do not underestimate the power of these gestures, because in the natural world they seem simple, but in the spirit they are key. I multiply every decision made with faith. Those who sow small acts of trust reap great harvests of transformation. Those who move in obedience see the impossible bow before them. And you who chose to remain, who chose to listen until now, are already beginning to experience the manifestation of what I have prepared. Look back and remember how many times you thought nothing would change. How many times you believed that your life would always be the same, repeating cycles of pain and silence. Now look at what I am doing. I am breaking the cycle. I am opening new paths. I am pulling you out of stagnation. This moment is a turning point. And the seal you place on your faith marks the beginning of a new story. I did not bring you here to leave empty. I did not call you to stay the same. I brought you because I prepared a turning point. And every act of faith confirms in the Spirit what I have already established for you. This altar does not go out when the broadcast ends. It continues to burn within you. Because my flame does not go out. It is not consumed. It is not limited to places. Therefore, seal this moment. Mark your decision in heaven. Like it as if you were planting a seed of faith. Register as if you were taking a prophetic step of continuity. As if you were declaring, I don't just want to touch. I want to walk with you every day. I honor those who honor me. I recognize those who choose me. And you will be remembered before the heavens as someone who not only listened, but responded. Because I do not seek mere listeners. I seek children who walk with me, who remain until the end. Seal your stay now. Mark your decision in your spirit. What begins today will be remembered forever. And just as marks in nature serve as a reminder, this spiritual seal will be a sign that a new stage in your life has begun here. I tell you, I saw what no one else saw. I was with you on the days when no one noticed the battle you were fighting in silence. I was there when the night seemed endless, when your eyes remained open because sleep would not come, when you covered your face with your hands so that the tears would not be noticed. I was there when you smiled on the outside, but inside you desperately cried out for help. Not a single tear went unnoticed. Every one was gathered before me as a seed. Every silent moan was recorded before my throne. I know the bills that keep you awake, the papers you keep in drawers, the worries you pretend don't exist so as not to worry those around you. I know the pain you carry in silence so as not to be a burden to others. I know the thoughts you fought to push away, telling yourself you couldn't falter when everyone thought you were fine. I knew the truth. I saw your heart racing with worry. I saw your mind exhausted from trying to find solutions that never appeared. I saw your feet enter the house without the strength to smile. And yet you lifted your head to show that everything was under control. I was there. And I tell you, you were never alone. I was with you when you thought your prayers wouldn't reach the ceiling. I was with you when the silence seemed to crush you. Even when you felt your faith was too small, I remained faithful. I never gave up for an instant. While you thought the heavens were closed, I worked in silence to open paths. While you thought no one cared, I was already moving hearts and circumstances in your favor. I know the wound you hide even from yourself. That moment you were rejected. The harsh words that still echo in your memory. The comparisons that diminished you, the looks that made you feel small. I saw it all. And none of this pain was in vain. Every tear turned into a cry before me. Every sigh became a prayer recorded in heaven. Nothing was lost. I tell you, I did not allow your pain to be wasted. What you experienced was neither forgotten nor in vain. Every long night, every hidden cry, every moment of heavy silence became a seed. I do not waste tears. I transform them into promises. And now it is time to start seeing what is sown from them. Understand. Your pain was not a sign of abandonment. It was the ground where I prepared something greater. Your fragility was not ignored. It was accepted. What you thought was the end, I had already written as the beginning. What you thought was the fall, I had already planned as the turning point. You thought you were in darkness, but I was already illuminating lights that you did not yet perceive. Do not doubt it. I was there in every detail. From the moment your tears sprang to the moment you decided to keep walking. Still weak, but without giving up. I held you when no one else could. I held you when you thought I couldn't. I carried you when your feet had no strength left. I was the invisible shoulder you leaned on without realizing it. Now I tell you, the time has come to transform pain into honor. What seemed like only suffering will be remembered as a seed that bore fruit. The tears that fell in secret will become public testimony of victory. What you thought was buried will be precisely what will make your life flourish. Because I am the God who transforms ashes into beauty, mourning into dancing, tears into joy. I have not forgotten you. I have not ignored your weeping. I have not closed my ears to your pain. Every moment was recorded, every detail preserved, every silent cry heard. I am faithful to fulfill it. And what began with tears will turn into a harvest of joy. I saw how scarcity hurt you, not only because of the lack of resources, but because of the invisible weight it inflicted on you. It was not just about unpaid bills, but the fear of not being able, the humiliation of dependence, the feeling of being eternally indebted to everyone and to yourself. Scarcity did not only affect your pockets, it tried to steal your identity, convince you of your unworthiness, erase your confidence that I am your father. I saw the times you hid your reality by smiling while your heart trembled inside. I saw you feign tranquility, but your mind was already tired of calculating, of redoing plans, of worrying about tomorrow. Scarcity made you feel small, made you believe that there was no way out, that your life would always be like this, limited, without possibilities. But today I declare, this cycle ends. Scarcity is a prison that the enemy tried to build around you. He used your needs to sow fear, to whisper that I was not listening to you, that I did not care about you. He used difficulties to make you believe that there was no future, that your destiny was to survive, never to live fully. But now I dismantle these lies. My voice is stronger than the chains he tried to bind you with. Even before you asked me, I had already prepared provisions. Even before you knelt, I had already released resources. Do not expect only what your eyes can imagine. My provision does not follow statistics, does not depend on the system, is not limited by human logic. I own the gold and the silver. I open paths in the desert. I make water spring from the rock. What I have prepared for you is not just survival. It is not just enough for today. It is abundance. It is honor. It is restored dignity. I will show those who doubted that I sustain you. I will make them see that what seemed impossible to you has become a reality before my eyes. Scarcity will no longer be your name. Lack will no longer be your identity. I tell you, this is the time of harvest. What was sown with tears will be harvested in abundance. What was lived in shame will be changed for honor. You will no longer live as one who begs for crumbs, but as a child who sits at the king's table, the dignity that scarcity tried to snatch from you. I myself restore to you. Receive now the sign of my provision. Receive in your spirit the certainty that you will no longer live chained. And to seal this promise, I invite you to a prophetic act. Now comment with 777, because this number is a sign of perfection and fullness. Write with faith, as if declaring before heaven and earth that the cycle of scarcity has ended and the perfect provision has been released. What you write here is not just a symbol. It is a seed. Every 7 you declare is like a key that opens invisible portals. Every repetition is like a hammer that breaks the chains of fear. By declaring 777, you tell the spiritual world, I no longer accept the lie of scarcity. I receive the perfect provision from heaven. I tell you, it is not just about money. It is about peace. It is not just about bills. It is about dignity. It is not just about survival. It is about inheritance. I am transforming you inside, healing the wounds of scarcity, tearing apart the defeatist mentality. You will see opportunities arise where doors were previously closed. You will see multiplication sprout from small seeds. Now believe. Now declare. Now remain. The time of shame has passed. and the time of honor begins before you. What I have prepared goes beyond what you asked for, goes beyond what you imagined. The abundance that I release over you will be a public testimony that I am your provider. I declare over you that the cycles of scarcity, fear, and repetition are already being broken. What seemed endless before your eyes is coming to an end. What was repeated year after year, the heaviness that always seemed to return, the feeling of going in circles without advancing, all of this has already begun to be shattered by the power of my presence. I know how trapped you felt, as if time had stopped, as if the doors were closed all the time. I know that when you looked back, you always saw the same mistakes, the same limitations, the same losses. But I tell you, from now on, you will no longer be a slave to the old cycles. I come to break the chains, to break the patterns that have imprisoned you for so long. Debts that seemed eternal begin to be resolved. Doors that were blocked begin to open. Paths that were previously invisible begin to clear. You thought your life was condemned to endless repetition, but I write a new story over you. What was once repeated is now interrupted. What once held you together is now shattered. I don't just speak, I send help. I have released the Archangel Michael with a flaming sword, not to watch from afar, but to act on your behalf. He cuts the chains that held your feet, shatters the shackles that bound your hands, and opens a path where there seemed to be a wall. What the enemy tried to keep closed, Michael now opens by my command. What was locked in the spiritual begins to manifest in a visible release in the natural. Invisible chains are collapsing at this very instant. Oppressions are dissolving. The walls that have been raised against you crumble like dust before my presence. And all of this is not just for your relief, but for the fulfillment of my purpose in you. Because I have not called you to live in slavery. I have called you to walk in freedom. The old cycle ends here. The cycle of fear, lack, humiliation, and limitations no longer has authority over you. You are called to live something new, to enter a new stage. I not only break the old, but I inaugurate the new. I not only end what has hurt you, but I open before you a path you have never seen before. So do not keep this liberation to yourself. Just as I brought you here to experience the breaking of cycles, there are others who are also trapped, others who are also going around in circles, others who also believe that there is no way out. And I want to use you as a channel for them to receive it too. Now share this message not as a routine, but as a prophetic act. By sharing, you extend the same altar that freed you to others who also need to break chains. When you decide to share, it is like lighting torches in dark places. It is like opening chains for those who do not yet know how to escape. Do not underestimate this gesture. You think it is just a gift, but in spirit, it is like breaking prisons. Those who receive through you will also be reached by the same power that now touches you. I turn you into a living testimony of liberation. I will not only free your life, but I will make you a sign for others to see that I still break chains. You have been chosen to show that no one needs to live captive forever. What I do in you today will multiply, and every person reached will be proof that my hand has not been shortened. This is the moment of the breakthrough. This is the moment to be free from old cycles. This is the moment to live anew. I declare the chains have fallen. The way is open. The new season has begun. And you will not be as you were before, because I myself have put an end to what seemed eternal. I tell you, you are not alone in this battle. I have already sent you reinforcements. The Archangel Michael is present now, wielding the flaming sword that cuts chains, shatters walls, and strikes down the enemies who have risen against you. He has not come to observe from afar. He has come to fight alongside you. Because when I give my command, the heavens move in your favor. You felt resistance, as if something invisible always rose up to impede your progress. You felt heaviness, as if every step was too difficult, as if everything was closed. But I affirm, this resistance is already crumbling. What seemed impenetrable begins to open. What seemed like a prison begins to break. Michael was sent to ensure that nothing stops you when I have already decided it is time to move forward. The heavens are not indifferent to your struggle. Every tear of yours was registered as a cry for help, and the answer has arrived. Michael is already in action. He stands between you and the enemy. He raises his sword against the forces that oppress you and establishes a circle of protection around you. He not only fights, but he protects. He not only conquers, but he establishes a permanent victory. You have no idea what has already been discarded at this moment. The invisible chains that bound your mind have already been broken. The locks that imprisoned your life have already been shattered. The strongholds that rose against you are collapsing at my command. You feel relief. You feel peace. You feel that something has changed. And this is not an illusion. It is a manifestation of the victory that I have already released. Stand firm, because I not only start battles, I finish them victoriously. I not only send help, but I ensure results. No enemy is strong enough to resist the power of my word. When I command, even the heavens are moved. When I command, even the angels bow in obedience. And Michael is by your side. Because I have decided that your story will not be stuck in the past, but will move forward victoriously. And now, I invite you to respond with faith. What happens in the invisible must be sealed within you. Give your like now, as if to say, I receive the victory that the Lord has already given me. And subscribe, as if to say, I choose to keep listening to your voice. I don't just want this moment. I want to remain under your presence every day. When you decide to like, it is not just a natural gesture, but a spiritual proclamation. It is like raising a flag of victory and saying, I recognize what is being done for me. When you decide to subscribe, it is not just a click. It is a commitment. It is like making a pact. Like opening your ears to continue listening to every word that comes out of my mouth. Do not let this moment pass like any other. Mark it in your spirit. Seal it with faith. What has begun now will continue in your life. And every step of trust you take confirms in the natural what I have already released in the spiritual. You are not weak. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are protected. You are sheltered. You are sustained. And the heavens are moving because of you. Today you begin to see signs of what I declared a long time ago. Today you realize that you do not walk alone. Today you understand that the battle no longer depends on your strength, but on my power working in you. And I tell you, the enemy will not prevail. Fear will not dominate you. Resistance will not stop you. Michael is already working, and I myself seal your victory. I tell you, what you experienced was not just natural, but spiritual. The exhaustion that weighed you down did not come only from the body. It was an attack to weaken your faith. The distractions that appeared when you sought my presence were not mere coincidences. They were darts thrown to steal your attention. The insomnia that stole your rest was not just a physical problem. It was a strategy of the enemy to tire you to the point of giving up. But today I affirm, the invisible war is already decided, and the victory is sealed. The enemy tried to instill thoughts of defeat in you, voices that whispered to your heart, telling you that nothing would change. that everything would always be the same, that I was not listening to you. He tried to sow discouragement by making you believe that your efforts were in vain. But every lying word was shattered by the power of my voice. What was accusation dissipated? What was fear was silenced. What was resistance collapsed before my presence. You no longer need to fight with your own strength, because I already fought for you. You do not need to carry the weight of the war, because I have already carried all the oppression upon myself. Your part is to remain, and mine is to win. And I tell you, the victory does not depend on your strength, but on who I am. And I am the God who never loses a battle. Although you thought the silence was abandonment, in reality, it was strategy. Although you thought the delay was carelessness, in reality, it was preparation. I was moving pieces that your eyes could not see. I was closing traps that you did not notice. I was deflecting attacks that did not even reach you. Much of what could have destroyed your life never reached you because I was already watching over your path. The invisible war was intense, but the victory is already a reality. Now you will see signs in the natural world of what has already been decided in the spirit. Doors that were closed will begin to open. What seemed impossible to change will begin to move. The rest that your soul could not find will begin to fill your interior. You will feel peace where there was anxiety before, strength where there was weakness before, hope where there was discouragement before. Do not fear the whispers that still try to reach you. They are echoes of a war already won. The enemy has already been defeated, and all that remains is to try to deceive you with shadows. Do not be fooled, because the light has already illuminated you. The victory is already decreed. Nothing can annul what I have already determined. I protect you in the middle of the battlefield. I surround you with protection. I send angels around you, and no attack will prevail against you. Although the enemy rises up, he will fall. Although weapons are forged, they will not prosper. Although they try to accuse you, my justice will speak more strongly. Receive this truth. You are not a prisoner. You are free. You are not defeated. You are victorious. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. The war did not end in failure. It ended in triumph. And your testimony will be proof that I continue to fight for those I love. What began in silence will end in celebration. What seemed hidden will be revealed with honor. What was resisted will now be released in abundance. You will see with your own eyes what I have already declared. The victory is yours, and no one can snatch it away. Rest, trust. The battle is no longer yours. It is mine, and I have already determined the end. Victory over you, inner peace, honor before all who doubted. I open before you doors that have been closed for so long. Doors that seemed sealed with invisible locks begin to move at my voice. You thought they would never open because you tried so many times and always met resistance. But today I declare to you, it will not be by your strength. It will be by my hand. What was blocked opens. What was paralyzed flows again. What seemed dead comes to life. I know how many times you knocked on the door and no one answered. I know how many times you submitted proposals, resumes, dreams, plans, and everyone seemed to ignore you. I saw you give up because the weight of rejection made you believe there was no space for you. But I tell you, you were not forgotten. You were reserved. It was not yet the time, because I was preparing the moment when the door opened, no one could close it. Situations that were frozen begin to crumble. Processes that seemed unanswerable gain momentum. Forgotten causes in the depths resurface. Those who rejected you will be used as instruments to call you back. What was lost will be restored. What seemed forgotten will be remembered. It is not coincidence. It is the fulfillment of what I have already decreed for you. I am the one who opens, and no one can close. I am the one who decrees, and no one can undo. It does not matter who opposed. It does not matter who closed the door in the past. It does not matter who told you it was impossible. I have the key of David, and today I myself turn it before you. When I open, no system can stop it. No man can block it. No enemy can resist it. Do not be afraid to move forward. I know fear still tries to whisper to you, telling you it is a trap, that it will not last, that it will soon close. But I tell you, this opening is not temporary. It is permanent. It will not be as before. It will not be a door that opens only to close again. It will be a path that remains accessible, because I have decided that your hour has come, and where you were rejected, I will honor you. Where you were humiliated, I will exalt you. Where they said there was no room for you, I will make room with my own hands. You will no longer walk as one who begs for crumbs, but as a child who inherits a served table, and to seal in your heart what I am already opening. I invite you to an act of faith. Like it now, as if declaring prophetically, I receive the doors of heaven opened in my life. This simple gesture in the natural is a powerful seal in the spiritual. It is your acceptance of what I have already revealed before you. By clicking like with faith, you are telling the invisible world that you believe in what I have already begun to do. It is like signing a spiritual document that confirms that the doors that have been opened will never close again. It is like planting a flag on a new territory and declaring, a new season begins here. I honor the faith of those who listen to my voice. I seal the promises in the lives of those who not only listen, but respond. You will no longer be a spectator. You will be a participant in what I myself am accomplishing. Because the door I have opened is not just for looking, it is for crossing. And when you take the first step, you will see that much more is prepared on the other side. Do not hold back anymore. Do not stay on the sidelines. I am putting you in motion. What once seemed impossible now becomes accessible. You will see abundance where there was scarcity before. You will see favor where there was rejection before. You will see opportunities where there was desert before. This is the moment to enter. This is the moment to cross. This is the moment to take possession. The doors are already open, and no one can close them because I myself have decided that the stage of your life has changed. I know every word that hurt your heart. I was present when they mocked you, when they told you that you were not enough, when they compared you to others as if your life were always inferior. I saw you rejected by those from whom you most expected love. I saw you strive to please and still receive the same answer that told you it wasn't enough. These scars molded your view of yourself. But I tell you, they do not define who you are. How many times have you repeated inner vows born of pain? You said, I will never trust again. You said, I will never expect anything from anyone again. You said, I will shut myself in. I will protect myself. I will not allow myself to feel again. But now, I have come to break those vows. I break the invisible chains that bound your identity to what they said, to what they did, to what they failed to do. You are not the result of the words that hurt you. You are the result of the word I unleashed upon you. You are not the weight of the rejections you endured. You are the fruit of the decision I made when I called you. Before the world knew you, I already had plans for you. Before you experienced rejection, I had already written eternal acceptance into your life. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of the sensitivity I myself gave you. A heart that feels deeply is not a flaw. It is a gift. The world tried to convince you that feeling too much was a problem. But I tell you, this sensitivity is the channel through which my presence flows. What seemed like weakness is, in fact, the strength I prepared in you to discern, love, and heal. I am restoring your image. I tear out the negative words that resonated like a sentence and plant eternal truths. I declare, you are not rejected. You are chosen. You are not forgotten. You are remembered. You are not a slave to the opinions of men. You are a beloved child of the King. What was broken in your identity is being rebuilt with living stones, with dignity and honor. Today, I dispel the comparisons that have crushed you. You do not need to be like anyone else because I created you unique. You do not need to compete because I myself make a place for you. The place I have prepared cannot be filled by anyone else. You are irreplaceable in my eyes. And now, I invite you to become a channel of restoration. Because what I do in you is not only for you, but also for those who carry the same wounds. Share this message now as a prophetic act. By sharing it, you are releasing to others the same healing that is taking place in you. You are proclaiming that no one has to remain trapped in the wounds of the past. Because I am the God who restores identities. By sharing, you become a bridge. Just as I found you in the midst of rejection, I will use your decision to find others. Just as I healed your secret wounds, I will also heal those who receive this word through your obedience. It is not just a human gesture. It is a seed that germinates in wounded hearts. I transform your story into a testimony. What was once a painful memory becomes a message of hope. What was once a hidden scar becomes a visible sign that I still heal. I still restore. I still renew everything. You will no longer carry the distorted identity that the enemy tried to impose on you. You will carry the seal of a beloved child, an heir, a chosen one. What once imprisoned you now becomes a mark of victory. What once limited you now becomes a driving force to move forward. I free you from the pain that has molded your vision. I clothe you with honor. I place you in a position of dignity. And all who have seen you rejected will see my glory shine through you. Because I do not just cleanse the wound, but I transform it into a living testimony of restoration. I tell you, you are not what they said about you. You are not the sum of the criticisms you received or the voices that tried to belittle you. You are not the failure that some have pointed out or the rejection you have felt so often. You are who I say you are. And I declare, you are my beloved child, chosen, set apart, heir to everything I have prepared. For years you carried words that did not come from me. Words that weighed like chains on your mind. Words spoken by wounded people who sowed wounds in you. You believed them as if they were your truth, as if your life were limited by those labels. But today I rip off every label. I break every phrase. I silence every voice that does not agree with what I declared over you. I know the names they tried to put on your identity. Incapable, weak, troubled, invisible. I know that you yourself, in moments of pain, accepted those names. But I had already written another name for you. Even before these words reached your ears, my book already contained your true worth. And in it is not written defeat, nor rejection, nor abandonment. In it is written, beloved, chosen, precious, Today I clothe you with dignity. I take off the heavy garments of shame and put on garments of honor. Where they told you that you were worthless, I put my seal on you. Where they said you would never amount to anything, I declare that I have made you an heir. Where they tried to silence your voice, I myself give you authority to speak firmly. You were not called to live as a slave to the opinions of others. You were not created to beg for attention or acceptance. You are my child. And a child does not ask permission to sit at the Father's table. A child has a guaranteed place. You no longer need to compete for love because you already have my unconditional love. You no longer need to fear being forgotten, because I will never forget you. I am rebuilding your perspective of yourself. The transformation I am preparing does not start from the outside, but from the inside. When you open your eyes to see who you really are in me, everything around you begins to change. You start to walk with dignity, to speak with confidence, and to live with the certainty that you are not an orphan, but a child. And this conviction attracts favor, opens doors, restores relationships, and multiplies opportunities. Listen, what I plant in you today is identity. An identity that cannot be erased by criticism. An identity that cannot be stolen by rejection. An identity that is not lost even when you fail. Because it does not depend on what you do, but on what I have already done for you. I chose you. I loved you first. I wrote your name on my hands. And now I invite you to take a prophetic step. You already feel inside you that something has changed. You already realize that your vision is no longer the same. But I want to seal this with you in an act of faith. Subscribe now, not only as someone who follows me from afar, but as someone who chooses to keep listening to my voice. Do it as someone who declares, I don't just want a moment. I want to live constantly in your presence. I want to keep walking toward you. When you decide to adhere to the faith, you mark your spirit with a choice of continuity. It is like crossing a spiritual door and saying, I will not turn back. I will not withdraw. I want more. It is like planting a monument before heaven, confirming that you accept the call to live as a child every day. I honor those who not only receive a visit, but desire a home. I do not come only in passing. I come to stay. And where I am welcomed, there I pour out my constant favor. Your decision to stay opens the door for me to transform areas that are still closed. Your decision to remain gives me the freedom to restore what seemed lost. You will see changes in the way you relate to others because you will no longer accept crumbs. You will see changes in the way you work because you will no longer feel small. You will see changes in the way you face challenges because you will no longer be trapped by fear, but will walk with confidence. All of this comes from within the identity I deposit in you today. Remain in this truth. Do not allow the old voice to dominate your mind again. When you hear accusations, remember, you are not what they say. You are what I declare. When you try to belittle yourself, remember, I exalt you. When the past tries to accuse you, remember, I have already clothed you with honor. I say it and I fulfill it. You are mine. You are loved. You are chosen. You are restored. And nothing can erase that identity because it was written by me with eternal ink that never fades. I tell you, what you feel now is not imagination, nor theater, nor a fleeting emotion. It is my presence. You are not facing human words. You are facing my voice. You are not moved by external stimuli. You are touched by something eternal. The transformation that begins in you at this moment will not be erased when the video ends. Because I am not limited to moments. I dwell in hearts. The sensitivity that so often shamed you, I transform into a channel of connection. What the world called weakness is precisely the space through which I enter. The tears that flow are not a sign of fragility, but of encounter. Your heart beating faster is not anxiety, but a response to the touch of my spirit. You are not just feeling something, you are being marked by me. I want you to understand that when my presence touches you, it is not a brief visit, but to establish a dwelling place. I do not come as a guest. I come as Lord. I do not touch to then withdraw. I touch to transform. Every part of you, every memory, every thought begins to realign with my voice. What was chaos begins to organize. What was fear gives way to trust. What was emptiness begins to be filled with the certainty that you are not alone. Do not think that tomorrow everything will be the same again. Do not think that this flame will go out, because I have decided to light something inextinguishable in you. It is not a fleeting emotion. It is an eternal fire. It is not a human sensation. It is a divine presence. When I enter, I remain. When I speak, my words do not return empty. When I leave a mark, the mark is eternal. From today on, you will live in a new spiritual frequency. What was once unnoticed will become clear. You will feel when danger approaches. You will perceive when I am guiding you. You will recognize the difference between my voice and the noises that try to confuse you. I will give you discernment to distinguish light from darkness, truth from lies, the right path from deception. This new frequency will also be peace. A peace that does not depend on circumstances. A peace that is not affected by storms. There will be struggles, but there will be no despair. There will be challenges, but there will be no defeat. Because my presence in you will be like a firm anchor in the midst of the raging sea. You will be surprised to realize that what once destabilized you no longer has the power to shake you. I also renew your strength. The fatigue that weighed down your shoulders begins to diminish. The burden that weighed down your soul will no longer have dominion. I infuse you with new life. I infuse you with a courage that does not come from external motivations, but from the certainty of my companionship. Where there was exhaustion before, there will now be vigor. Where there was stagnation before, there will now be movement. Where there was fear of trying before, there will now be courage to move forward. And I myself will be your guide. You will no longer walk blindly, nor make decisions as one who casts lots. I will be with you in every decision, guiding your steps. When you stray onto paths that lead nowhere, you will feel the weight of my hand calling you back. When you need to advance, you will feel the wind of my spirit propelling you. When you need to stop, you will clearly hear my voice telling you, wait. All this is the fruit of my presence. It is not technique. It is not human effort. It is my being dwelling in you. You will never be the same after this encounter, because you now carry the mark of one who stood at the altar. And although many do not understand it, they will see in your eyes that something has changed. Your atmosphere has changed. Your inner self has changed. Your life has changed. The revolution of my presence is not noise. It is silence and constant transformation. It is a seed that germinates every day until it becomes a fruitful tree. It is a river that starts small, but becomes an unstoppable current. What began at this moment will continue to flow because I do not retract what I do. Receive this assurance. You've been transformed from within. What was a wound? I heal. What was empty? I fill. What was weakness? I turn into strength. And all this because I chose to dwell in you, not just pass through you. I declare over you that the time of scarcity is over. The time of shame, of nights without answers, of accumulated bills, and of hearts crushed by fear has ended. I inaugurate a new season. And this season is called abundance. It is not only abundance of resources, but abundance of peace, honor, rest, and dignity. I have not called you to survive on crumbs. I have called you to live as a child sitting at the table prepared by me. I know how many times you have felt humiliated for not having enough. I've seen you avoid places because you couldn't participate, when you bowed your head to hide your reality, when you believed that poverty was your identity. But today I declare, lift your head. You are no longer a slave to scarcity. You are an heir to the kingdom. You will no longer live in shame. You will live in honor. You will no longer carry the burden of overdue bills as a sentence. You will carry the lightness of the provision that comes from me. The abundance I release is not just to satisfy momentary needs. It is to restore what was lost, what was stolen from you in opportunities. I return to you in greater opportunities. What you lost in relationships, I return to you in true alliances. What was taken from you in years of limitations, I return to you multiplied in a short time. Because the abundance that comes from me does not follow human calculations. It follows the power of my promise. Receive this truth. It is not about human effort. It is about my hand opening the heavens for you. What was closed now opens. What seemed impossible now becomes reality. Just as I fed multitudes with a few loaves and fish, so I will multiply the little you have until it is much. Just as I made manna fall in the desert, I will make provisions sprout from where you least imagine it. I am your source. And when I decide to pour it out, nothing can contain it. And this abundance will be a public testimony. Not only will you feel relief at home, but you will see before many that I have exalted you. Those who laughed at you, judged you, doubted your faith, will witness my faithfulness. They will see that the God you served in silence is the same one who now honors you in public. They will see that every hidden tear has been transformed into an open celebration. And to seal this in the Spirit, I invite you to an act of faith. Comment now with courage and conviction, declaring in the comments that you receive this abundance. Write as one who plants a seed in the spiritual world, as one who marks this day as a turning point. Your comment will not be mere words. It will be prophecy recorded before my throne. When you write with faith, you accept the promise. You sign in the Spirit the document of abundance that I have already published. You proclaim to yourself and to heaven, I believe, I receive, I take possession. Every word you utter is like a key that opens new doors, like a seal that confirms. My life will no longer be marked by scarcity, but by the abundance of the Lord. Do not fear change. I know that for so long you have become accustomed to lack, that sometimes you even fear believing that it could be different. But I tell you, believe, because it is not your imagination. It is my promise. It is not the result of illusions. It is the result of my word. I am faithful to fulfill it. And if I said it would be abundance, it will be. Prepare to live differently. Prepare to have not only enough, but to overflow. Prepare to be a channel, to share with others, to be a living witness of my provision. Because I do not just bless you for yourself, I bless you so that you may be a blessing. What I pour out on you will reach your home, your family, your friends, and even those who never expected to be touched by your life. I tell you, It has already begun. It is not a distant promise. It is a present reality. The abundance has already been released, and the signs will begin to manifest before your eyes. You will recognize it for yourself. It was not luck. It was not coincidence. It was the Lord. I tell you, every act of faith that springs from your heart is seen, received, and multiplied before me. I do not measure as men do. I do not look at the apparent greatness of the gestures. I discern the trust that moves them. When your trust is manifested, even in a simple way, heaven responds with magnitude. What you call a detail, I call a key. What seems small to you becomes a seal capable of inaugurating entire seasons. You have been trained for years to survive, to live counting coins of hope and rationing expectations. Have you become accustomed to expecting little so as not to be hurt again, to preparing your heart for the worst, to using caution as armor?